Hi everyone and welcome back to Linda Tina TV. If it's not your first time here, if it is your first time, hello there, I see you. Remember to subscribe and click on that notification bell so that you are notified when I post a new video. Now, in the previous video, I talked about pregnancy in Italy and what to expect and my personal experiences. In this video, we're moving on to motherhood in Italy. This is mostly as a foreign mom. I am an African mom. I'm from Uganda, East Africa, and I've been living in Italy for almost 9 years. My kids are born here and I am raising them here. So this should be a very interesting video for a foreigner who's interested or who's currently raising kids in Italy. I will start off with mentioning the things that I find different. This is by no means a comparison video saying which is better than the other. Obviously, I'm going to be comparing from what I know back home and from what I am experiencing here in Italy. But disclaimer, I'm not comparing which one is better than the other. I'm just, giving you my experiences as a mother in Italy, an African mom in Italy, Milan. So to start with, I find that Italian moms are very protective of their children. And you know that stereotype about Italian moms and their sons? Well, it is true. There's a lot of truth in that. They are very protective of their children. And so for me, moving here, I felt like I was too relaxed for a mother in Italy. I was kind of like, if my son falls, for example, and I'm at the playground, a typical Italian mom will rush, oh my God, are you okay? Are you bleeding? And for me, usually I'll tell my child, are you fine? If he's fine, I'll just keep it moving, but they'll give them cuddles and kisses. Oh my God, you fell down. Oh my God. And this is like the whole, like everyone else who's watching is going to be all over the child just because they've, tripped on a stone. And so I found that a bit different, and it made me feel like I'm being judged for being too relaxed about the way I was raising my children. Also, this may not be very specific to Italy, but basically here in the West, I feel like disciplining kids is more relaxed or is different. Where I come from, disciplining kids is high up there in raising kids. But here I find that kids kind of can respond to their parents the way they feel like, because they are given that liberty to speak as adults or to speak to adults like they're speaking to their age mates, which doesn't happen where I come from. And this was a bit challenging for me, being in an intercultural marriage, because then my kid's father, my husband, has this liberty going on where the kids kind of respond to him the way they feel like, and I'm telling them, no, you don't respond like that. And so being a mother in the West is challenging for a person who's not born and raised in this culture, because then I'm bringing my culture and the way I was raised, which is not necessarily the right way or the best way, but it's what I know, and bringing that into a family that is intercultural. And kids who are raised here, they have friends who are from here, so they don't even get the point of some of the things that I tell them. For example, politeness is paramount to me, and I realize that maybe it's not that big of a deal here. Like, you have to say please, you have to say thank you. When someone hurts themselves, you say sorry. And I'll tell my kids, you say sorry when someone hurts themselves, but I'm not the one who hurt them. Well, it's just a nice thing to do, And so that has been very interesting on my motherhood journey here in Italy. Still on that, I feel like children here are used to having their parents serve them. Like, kids should just sit there and wait to be served by their parents. Like, they'll sit on the couch and tell you, oh, mommy, could you pass me the water that is just right there, because they're watching TV. And you're thinking, you go get your water, but the mom will go running and serve the child, which is something I was not used to. And I'm bending some of my rules, like some of the things that I've been told or how I was raised. I am unlearning many things, but there's some things that are still like, you get up. If you can move and just get yourself a glass of water. And that brings me to the next point, independence. Now, where I come from, independence is ingrained in you from when you are really little. Like there's even some sort of competition about whose child is more independent than the other. I feel it's actually excessive, not in a very positive way, come to think about it. Like whose child got out of the diapers first. Like who cares? When you are adults at 30 years old or in the workplace, no one is ever going to know that I got out of my diapers 1 year before the next person. But it seems like boosting independence and enforcing independence is such a big part of my culture. And to be honest, as a mother here, I've tried to push it on my children subconsciously, and I'm learning from other parents here that sometimes it's okay to let a child be a child while still teaching them to learn how to take care of themselves. But it's okay to let a child be a child and do children things and do baby things, you know, instead of forcing them into adulthood. So that has also been a very interesting part on my journey on motherhood here in Italy. Because for me, like since I was maybe 7, my mom, no, maybe not 7, but okay, before 10 for sure, my mom would send me to the little grocery stores around the house to go get stuff. And she'll give me the money and she'll tell me, for this money, you're going to get, I don't know, 5 rolls of toilet paper. And I'll go and get 5 rolls of toilet paper. Right now, when I look at my son who's 8 years, I can't imagine sending them to the grocery store that is just downstairs, you know. I know it's a different way of living, it's a different way of lifestyle, but yeah. I'll also share with you the challenges that I have had being a mother in Italy. Oh my God, the first one, the major one, the one I still struggle with is having little or no help. You know that saying that it takes a village to raise a child, that African saying? Well, it literally takes a village to raise a child back home. You always have help from a cousin, from an auntie, from a neighbor. But when I had my children here and it was just me and my husband, and his family, which is amazing. They've been very helpful. They help us babysit, like his mom and his dad, they help us babysit the kids. But for most of the time, for most of the things, you are really on your own. And I feel like it really drains you as a mother because you just literally have no space to breathe. I remember I had my daughter when my son was 2 years old. So when my son turned 3, I had my daughter turning 1, and my son then started going to daycare. But some days it would be cold and rainy and I had to get my daughter into the stroller, take my son to school. It's winter, so I'm putting on like layers of jackets, taking my son to school, coming back home, and he was going to school for just 3 hours. 3 hours, I'm organizing the house and getting the baby fed and then going back to pick my son, and I'm thinking, oh my God, back home in Uganda, I'll just leave my son with someone, with a cousin, with someone who would just like help me. You can't have help here if you can afford to pay for it, but having a live-in nanny is pretty expensive, but also it's not the norm. It's not the norm. And so that has been a crazy challenge. And to end this video, I think that also that your expectations as a mom here and back home, they're more or less the same, because in Italy they're very traditional when it comes to family, and the mother is expected to be like the backbone of the family and to do all these things around the house and to take care of everybody, even when they're old, you know, like you have older children, like I mentioned a little earlier in the video. And yeah, sometimes I felt the pressure to meet up to these expectations of a typical Italian mom who always has the house spotless. And but things are changing a lot because very many women, not just in Italy, around the world, are going into their careers, like deep into their careers. And so, you know, you're doing the same things that men are doing. I must say that Italian men are so involved in the family. Like the present dads are very present, and most dads are very present in the family. They help a lot in the family, but there's still that expectation of you're the mom, so these are your roles. And yeah, motherhood generally is a crazy journey. If you're a mom, you already know that. But doing motherhood in a foreign country, in a different lifestyle from that what you're used to, in a different culture, can be pretty challenging. But also there's a lot to learn and unlearn from a new culture. I've learned so much about motherhood here, to be honest. And if I'm to be very honest with you, I feel like I have a stronger bond with my children because I'm raising them here. I feel like it has exposed me to taking care of my children in a more deeper, in a deeper way than I would have if I had raised them back home, where we, to be honest, delegate most things. Like you're there, but you delegate almost everything. But I was fully there for my children. I watched their first steps, the first time they crawled. I knew everything they were eating because I was making it from scratch. And yeah, it's been different, but in an amazing way. So yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. So if you're raising kids in a place that is not the place you were born and raised, in a different country, I would like to hear your experiences. What have your experiences been? Share with me down in the comment section. And if you have any more questions about this topic, or if you want me to talk about these experiences a little more, please let me know down in the comment section, and see you in my next one. Bye bye.